Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video. This video is going to be an art haul. I myself really enjoy watching art hauls, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. Quite a lot of these supplies I've been saving to film this video, and for a few different reasons, the main one being us moving house. I haven't been able to film this video until now, and some of the supplies I've actually had sitting around since February. Some of them I have already swatched, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to structure the video with showing you guys the supplies that I have, and then I'm going to swatch them later on. Before I start getting into the haul, I should also quickly mention that some of these supplies have been purchased for me as gifts. In fact, most of these supplies were purchased for me as gifts for like birthdays or Christmas. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, I guess, before getting into the haul. But yeah, let's crack on. So I'm here on my desk and I'm going to start off with gouache. So I got the Himi gouache set for my birthday, which was in February. So I've had this sitting around for ages, months and months and months. It's now the 2nd of November, so a very long time, and I've had to really restrain myself from opening these. This is a very popular gouache palette. I think most artists have probably used or at least heard of these, and I'm very late on the bandwagon, but I've been wanting to try them out for a while. There's 18 different colours, and they come in these little like pots. They kind of feel like yogurt pots or something. So I will open those before I swatch them in a bit. My mum got me this set for my birthday, and she has the same one, and she actually saw Hayley Jo Summers using it, and I've seen some of her gouache pieces and been really inspired. So I'm really excited to get my hands on these and start trying them out. So I'll swatch those a bit later on. The next thing I have to share are the Holbein acrylic gouache. Again, I'm very late to the bandwagon with these. I've had my eye on them for ages. Got these as a gift for, I think it was my birthday as well. I got these from Matt. I basically picked out the colours that I thought would be really good staple colours for me to have. I wanted the primary colours and then some pretty colours as well that are pre-mixed. I love, this is probably my favourite one. I think it's such a gorgeous colour, and it's going to be really useful to have this pre-mixed colour because I use the colour olive a lot in my work. So that's going to be really useful, and obviously I use a lot of pink and lilac, so it's going to be really lovely to have those colours. So the colours that I got were titanium white, vermilion, deep yellow, ultramarine blue, ice green, olive, light magenta and lilac. So those are the colours that I picked. I actually already swatched these in my sketchbook because when I got them I just could not resist swatching them and trying them out. So I'll show you the swatches that I created a while ago in a bit when I'm in the swatching section. So that's those. So the next item I have to share is a very beautiful palette of Japanese watercolors. These are the Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors. I'm probably absolutely butchering the pronunciation of that. I've seen so many artists using these and they just look stunning. They look very pigmented and very bright and vibrant, which I really love for my work. I've been wanting to get into watercolors more, and I think this will be, I'm hoping this will be the perfect palette for me. I haven't swatched any of the colors, so I'm really excited to do that. This is just a quick overview of the colors, but there's actually a kind of swatch card on the inside of the lid, so I will use this to swatch the colours. This was actually a gift from my brother-in-law for Christmas. Sadly, the box got a bit damaged in transit, which is a shame, but the colours haven't been affected, the paint's all fine. The box is just a little bit beat up, but it's fine. It's just such a pretty box as well. Like, look at this, so gorgeous. With the gold foiling on the front, oh, it's such a beautiful palette. So that's that. The next thing I have to share is this ink, which is from Korea, from Seoul, I believe, made in Japan, and this is actually from my brother-in-law as well. This year he went travelling with work to South Korea, and he brought back some really lovely souvenirs for me and Matt. So this was one of them, this amazing ink, which I haven't used yet, and I'm very, very excited to play around with. So this was one of the items that he brought back for us. I've kind of claimed that. Obviously Matt's welcome to it, but I've kind of claimed this for myself. So I'm really excited to get into this as well. And there's actually another item later on that I'm going to share that he also got at the same time and brought back for us. So yeah, I'll share that in a bit. So very, very excited to use this. Very excited. And then the next thing I have to share is a gift that my lovely mum got for me for my birthday. Basically, I asked her for my birthday for some oil paints because she works in oils quite regularly. I know nothing about oils, so I really wanted like a nice starter kit. And I asked her for this for my birthday, not expecting that she'd get me the Himis as well, but she kept this beautiful box and put together a little starter kit of oils in this really cute tissue paper as well. So she got me some Winsor & Newton oils. I'm just going to open those up. So in here we have permanent alizarin crimson and titanium white, if it will focus. There we go, titanium white. And then we also have this box here where we have French ultramarine and we have lemon yellow hue. So the primary colours and a white, which was so thoughtful and perfect for starting out. And then she got me this palette paper, which is great for oil and acrylics. And then an oil sketching pad. And I believe this belonged to my granddad because he passed down a lot of supplies. It's actually my dad's dad. So yeah, he passed down a lot of supplies to my mum and she's kept a lot of them. And I believe this is one of his old pads. So super like retro on the front. Good size for starting out, not intimidating, which is great. So that'd be really good for like experimenting in. And then bless her heart, she's also got me this jar of low odour solvent. So this is ideal to use when oil painting because yeah, the solvents can be really smelly and you want one that's low odour. So that's that. And then I believe this belonged to my granddad as well. It's a little kind of mixer for, I think, the linseed oil. Is that what that's for? I can't remember. She did explain it to me, but that was back in February, so I'm going to have to give her a call and double check. But I think this is for popping the linseed oil in. So this is a little jar of linseed oil. How cute is that? And she's done like calligraphy on the label. So cute. Love it. I also wanted to say as well that I'm not going to swatch the oil paints in this video because that would require me doing some more research and prepping the paper, the sketch pad paper, unless it's already prepped. I'm not 100% sure on that. So I need to do a little bit more research before I use the oil paints, but I just wanted to share them with you today so you know that they are something that I'm going to be exploring and experimenting with in my future work. I'm going to put these back inside now. So that is the beginner's kit of oils from my lovely mum. So that's that. Very, very excited to get into those. And then lastly, I have brushes to share with you guys. The first brush I want to share is this beauty. This is a brush that my brother-in-law bought back from Seoul as well to go with the ink that I shared with you guys earlier. And I've never used a brush like this. Is this a calligraphy brush? I feel like it is. I'd really love to hang this up in the studio somewhere. It'd look really pretty. So that is that. Funnily enough, before he brought that brush back from Seoul, I actually got this brush, which is a, what is this called? It's the Aquafine Pointed Wash Brush by Daly & Rowney. And I actually asked for this for my birthday, specifically so that I could use it with the Ganso Tambi watercolors. I'm really excited to try this out. I've not used it because I've been saving it for this haul, so I'm really, really excited to give it a go. This one was from my brother-in-law, my other brother-in-law. I should probably just title this video Birthday Art Haul. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, there we go. So that's that one. And then I have these watercolour brushes that my mum gave me, and these are actually my granddad's as well, and they've barely been used. These are lovely brushes and they'll be great for watercolours and ink and things like that. I'm really glad to be putting them to use. And then I have all of these coarse haired brushes, perfect for oil painting and acrylic painting, to be honest, and gouache, to be honest, anything. These will be perfect for anything. I really wanted some brushes like this in different sizes that I could use to loosen myself up. I've seen, I believe, Sandy Hester's videos. I think she uses these type of brushes. They're like kind of coarse, very bristly. I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I mean, that kind of like really coarse textured brushes that are really good for working large scale to fill space, but also creating some really interesting textures. Again, these belonged to my granddad, so really happy to have some of his old brushes and be able to put these to use, because a lot of these look brand new. Like, I don't think he's actually ever used this brush. Looks brand new to me. So I'm really excited to put these to use, and really grateful to my mum for passing these down to me. So that's the main portion of the art haul done. So now I'm going to move on to swatching, which I'm so excited about. I started unpacking the Himi gouache, so I'm just going to carry on with that now. I'm just gonna go wash my hands because they are covered, and then I'm gonna come back and put these all in a nice order. Okay, hands are all washed. So I'm just gonna put these in a nice order. So I think I'm gonna start with the black. To be honest, the order that it's in is quite good, like the order the colours came in already, but maybe we'll go like that, and then that, this, then the ochre. Again, I've somehow managed to get paint all over my hand just from putting the pots back into the container. This is the palette. I think that I might need to mix the colours in the pots around a little bit, maybe, because it seems like there's some separation going on between the binder and the pigment, so I think I'm going to have to go in and mix them a little bit. But yeah, that's how these are looking. I keep forgetting to press record. So I've just gone and got myself some more water, and I'm ready to swatch the Himis. So as I said earlier, I'm just gonna like mix and swatch as I go so that we can make sure the colour's as true as it can be. So I've just swatched the black, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna water down the brush a little bit and try and do a like slightly wetter version. Still looks very dark. Nice strong colour. I mean, I guess it's black, so it's going to be. I think I'm going to have to go and change the water again, because I really don't want the other colours to get black in them. And I think that they will if I don't change the water again. I've just grabbed an extra jar of water, because apparently when you're painting, you're actually supposed to have 2 jars of water on the go. I have this one that's closest to me as the like main one to wash the brush off in. Let's go in now with, I think this might be like a Prussian blue or an indigo. Can't tell at the moment. So pretty. Let's give it a bit of a water down. Just thought it'd be nice to see what it's like if it's, you know, even lighter, how it blends and things. I'm liking these paints so far. I think they're nice. I like the kind of variation in colour you can get with it, so happy so far. Let's try out this one. I think this is like a more of an ultramarine type. Oh, okay, so this one definitely needs mixing more. The binder's separated way more with this one, so this one really does need a mix. I'm running out of space. Okay, so this is the kind of more of a deep ultramarine type blue. guess that could probably be an indigo actually. No, it's more of an ultramarine, isn't it? These swatches are going to be very ad hoc, so apologies about that. Okay, I'm going to pull this down here. Very orderly swatching. Apologies to anyone that finds this stressful. So let's go with the lighter blue. I guess this is more of a cerulean blue, isn't it? Okay, let's give this one a go. Ooh, that's a nice colour. Very nice and opaque. Yeah, that's a great colour. I love how opaque that is. That's going to be really good. Oh, it's such a pretty colour. I love that one. I'm getting so excited to use these in my work now. Nice colour. Really nice colour. Wow. That feels more green than I thought it was going to be. I feel like that looks like light phthalo green, like a pale, like chalky version of a phthalo green. Oh my gosh, these colours are so pretty when you water them down as well. Really impressed with these paints so far. The one thing I would say, my thoughts so far, is I don't like how messy they are. Yeah, I think that they might be a little bit tricky in terms of the mess side of things. But, oh my goodness, they're so nice to use. They're like really buttery. Oh yeah, they're really, really pleasant to use. I'll show you close-ups later on. My swatching is so chaotic, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, this is how I roll. I'm quite a chaotic person, so I feel like that comes through in my swatching style. I'm always very in awe of Natasha Newton's swatching because she's always so neat and precise, and I find that very soothing to watch. So I'm sorry if this is stressful for anyone who prefers a more neat approach to swatching. I'm in awe of those that can swatch neatly. I think I'm just a very chaotic swatcher. I'm now going to go into the what looks like the sap green. It's a bit of a mix. Oh, that is a nice colour actually. For some reason it didn't look like a sap green earlier when I was unpackaging it, but that is a lovely, lovely sap green. Really, really nice to use. It's like working with butter. I know why so many artists enjoy these gouache now. I just realised the camera decided to stop recording just before I started swatching the lemon yellow. But I was just saying actually how lovely these paints are. I was just kind of giving them a lot of praise and saying how nice they are to use. And I would even compare the application and the quality to Winsor & Newton designer gouache. Like, I think they're really, really matte and opaque and really enjoyable to use. Some of the colours are slightly streakier than others, like the sap green and the cerulean blue, but for the most part they are really good quality. I'm really, really impressed. I'm not sure about the light fastness of these. I don't know how good quality they are in that respect, but in terms of usability and like effect, these are, I would say, on par with the Winsor & Newton designer gouache. They're really, really nice to use. Just gonna kind of add a bit more water to that swatch. I've also heard people saying that it's quite good to layer like a sheet of cardboard between the paints and the lid of the paint palette, because again the colours can transfer and it can get quite messy, so that's the downside for me. But if that's not something that bothers you, these are perfect. What do you call this colour? Is it like a burnt sienna? Or is this a raw sienna? I always get a bit confused between the colours. Give that a good mix. Okay. Gorgeous deep colour. Lovely vibrant red there. The swatches are slowly getting bigger as we go down. Another lovely deep colour. So pigmented, wow. Gorgeous colour. Okay. Oh, I love this colour. How I will work this into my art, I'm not sure, because I don't normally use crimson. It's not a colour I normally work with, but that is really, really beautiful. Make some nice pinks or like an aubergine colour. That'd be good for mixing an aubergine colour. So next we have the pink, which you can probably guess I'm quite excited about. Lovely pink, magenta-y type pink. So the final colour we have is this very vibrant purple. I don't think it looks as vibrant on camera as it is in real life, but it's very, very vibrant in real life. This is like proper pure purple in my humble opinion. Lovely opaque colour once again. Just gonna bring that out. So there we go, that is the Himi gouache swatched. So I'll do a little close-up of that now so you guys can see the colours before I move on to the next art supplies to swatch. So I've just flipped us around because I want to make use of this side of the sketchbook. So I'm now going to swatch the ink. I'm so scared that it's going to go all over the place. Let's try and... Okay, so it's got this little spout. Oh gosh, that comes out really quickly. Okay, oh my word. Okay, I think we need some kitchen towel handy. Whoa! That went everywhere. You have to be so careful with this. Right, I'm gonna put the cap on. Oof, that was close, that was. And I'm wearing my nice linen trousers, so that could have gone pretty terribly. So I'm gonna test out my gorgeous calligraphy brush. I don't know whether you're meant to like loosen the bristles or whether you're meant to keep it quite pointy, because I've kind of loosened them. I just wanted to see what it's like. Oh. You can get such fine lines with it. This is such a gorgeous brush. If you use it on its side. Okay, so this page is just going to end up black because I just keep going, I can't stop. So addictive to use. Okay, so I think I have filled most of this page with playing around with the ink and the brush, but that has been so much fun. Please, if you know anything about these types of brushes, please leave anything in the comments, like any tips or advice about how to look after them, how to make use of the gorgeous point. Because just look at this point. Any tips that you have with how to use a brush and ink like these, then please let me know in the comments. So next I thought I would swatch these gorgeous Japanese watercolours. I'm really excited for this, and I thought I'd do this using my lovely new brush. So we have the swatch card on the back of the lid, which I believe I can just swatch directly onto, and it goes down in order of the palette, so vertically. Often it's quite good with watercolours to spray them first just to activate the colours. So I'm going to use my trusty spray bottle just to give them a bit of a spritz. So let's start with number 32, which is this red colour. So nice and vibrant. Wow. Probably not going to be very neat with these swatches because I really struggle to stay within the lines. I've added quite a lot of water to the swatch, so I hope that it's not going to dry too watery, but I guess I can always go back over it a little bit if I've done it too watery. So let's go down to cadmium red, which is number 30. This looks like a very similar red to the colour red, the one that I've just swatched. Very similar. I think I might just leave a little bit of a gap along the top there to stop the colours from blending into each other. It'll be interesting to see how they look when they've dried, whether they dry differently. Just going to zoom you in a little bit. And then next we have number 43, which is cadmium yellow. Very nice and vibrant. Almost feels like you could use these like gouache because they're quite pigmented and thick. Now we're on to sap green light. Nice lush fresh green. That very much reminds me of the trees in summer. So far, first impressions of these paints are that they feel quite sticky, almost like weird to explain. It's like you kind of need to apply quite a lot of pressure to loosen the paint, and I thought that adding water would kind of help, but it doesn't seem to have helped massively. I feel like they still feel like quite stiff, like they need kind of moving around a bit. I don't know if that explains, like the water seems to just be absorbing into the paint and it doesn't seem to be loosening it much, if that makes sense. Now I'm very used to gouache and acrylics, and obviously they're going to be very different to watercolours, and especially Japanese watercolours, so I think it's probably just a difference in texture that I need to get used to, but it's interesting kind of getting a feel for how these paints work. Nice colour, that one. That's Viridian number 55. There is something a little bit about the fact that I'm painting in boxes with a border that's putting me a little bit on edge. I am feeling a little bit aware of my tendency to make a big mess. That one is Ultramarine Pale number 61. So, oh, this looks like a lovely deep blue. Probably not showing up on camera as much, but this looks like it's going to be gorgeous. This is Prussian Blue number 66. Oh yeah, that's a gorgeous blue. I just love blue. I think if I had to pick my favourite colour, it would probably come to a little bit of a surprise to people because I do use so much pink, but I have to say that my favourite colour is blue. It always has been. It's such a gorgeous colour, and there's so many different types of blue. Next we have just the colour purple, which is number 37. I don't think I'm going to bother swatching the whites because it's just white and you're not going to be able to see it, especially because it's a watercolour. Don't think I'm going to bother. It just seemed like a little bit of a waste of time to swatch the white. It feels quite sort of crimson-y almost. Trying to put a bit more colour down because it was quite watery, the swatch that I did do. Yeah, it's a bit of a pinky purple, that. Quite nice, I like that colour. Okay, so this colour is Carmine and it's number 35. That's a nice red, pinky red that is. Lovely, very nice colour. Cadmium Scarlet is next. My camera just decided to turn itself off again. I have just swatched number 31 Cadmium Scarlet So that's all you missed. And now I'm swatching number 42, Orelin. I do not know how to pronounce that, but it's basically another yellow. Feels like a bit more of a lemony yellow, but there is actually a lemon yellow, this one. So maybe it's kind of halfway between the two. So overall, I'm enjoying the feel of these watercolours, and they are very, 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 very bright and pigmented, which I'm really enjoying. First impressions are good. So this is number 53, Sap Green. This is like, for me, this is what Sap Green should be. So this is number 56, Forest Green. Oh gosh, I'm making such a mess. I really like this colour. It's like this is like just a darker version of the Viridian. So this next colour is number 64, Ultramarine. I love an ultramarine. Such a gorgeous colour. This makes me think of Santorini. If Santorini was a colour, it would be ultramarine. This one feels kind of more transparent than the other ones, a bit more translucent. It's just interesting seeing how the colours compare and how some of them are more opaque than others and stronger. I think, guys, I've decided to use a different brush because as much as this is a gorgeous brush, these are such small squares and it's actually really tricky to get control over the paint. When you're using such a big brush in such a small area, it's pretty tricky to like get control over how much paint you're taking in, and because this is absorbing so much water, it's kind of tricky to get the colours to look kind of true to how they actually are. I'm going to use this brush instead. Next we've got Indigo, which I'm excited for because Indigo is such a gorgeous colour. I bet that colour has a lot of scope for variation in tone. So next we have Burnt Sienna. Really nice. So next we have a metallic kind of pearlescent colour. This is White Gold. Looks very pretty. Might be slightly contaminated by the dirty water in my jar, but it'd be nice just to see how that looks when it's dried. Speaking of the dirty water, I think I'm just going to go and change it because I don't want the colours to get all contaminated for you guys, so I'll be right back. Okay, we are back with some clean water. So let's start the next row. So this next colour is Rose Madder. Oh wow! That looks so much more red in the palette than the colour actually is. Wow, that is gorgeous. That is such a beautiful colour. This kind of colour gets me so excited. It's pink. I mean, I don't really need to say anything else, do I? I am so in love with that colour. That's going to have gorgeous variation as well. Love that. Okay, the next one we have here is number 33, and this is Cadmium Orange. Very nice colour. I know I keep saying it, but I'm really, really looking forward to actually playing with these supplies now. So now we have Lemon Yellow, which is number 40. Gosh, that's very vibrant. Okay, so next we have Hooker's Green, which is number 52. The thing I'm really enjoying about this palette is the fact that some of the colours are very, very vibrant, but everything feels quite balanced and quite natural at the same time. Like the colours aren't super kind of man-made feeling and clinical feeling. They feel quite earthy and true to colours that you would find in nature, which I really appreciate. Next we are on to Turquoise Green Deep, which is number 57, and I think that this is going to be a beautiful colour. I'm just getting that feeling, and I was right. That is so stunning. It's kind of like a teal, isn't it? Wow. Very, very beautiful. That's lovely. Okay, next we have number 63, which is cerulean blue. Now this looks quite dark, so I'm intrigued to know what it's actually going to be like. Oh, yeah, definitely cerulean. Lovely colour. Oh, this swatch card is getting a little bit creased, I think, because of the water. Don't think it's really taking it very well. Okay, so next we have number 38, which is Imperial Violet. Oh, lovely deep colour. That reminds me of that purple in the Himi palette as well. That I feel like if you added a bit more water would very much be a Cadbury purple as well. And then next on this row we have Raw Umber Deep, number 47. I'm really impressed with this palette. I'm not sure that the colours are light fast though. Similar with the Himis, I'm just not sure, so I'm going to have to do a bit of research especially before I do any originals. Light fastness wasn't something that I ever really used to think about because I never really sold original work unless I was doing commissions, and I would obviously check that the paints were light fast then. But yeah, it's never really something I've had to think about, so it's been interesting thinking about that more because I've started selling my originals on my Etsy recently. So, oh, I've missed out blush gold. Oh well, what we'll do is we'll just swatch Rose Madder Deep. Oh, another gorgeous pink. Wow, that's beautiful. We'll swatch this one and then I'll go back to the gold. So this is number 36 for anyone interested. I've got a feeling that this row might just be my favourite because there's an olive green and there's a turquoise. So yes, I'm very excited to swatch this next row. But yeah, let's quickly just do number 91, which is Blush Gold. Another metallic. These metallics look really lovely actually. Oh yeah, that is a nice metallic. That's a really nice gold. Very impressed with these paints. I know I keep saying it, but it's just so nice to have new supplies to work with because I'm not really used to it. I don't normally treat myself to new, I mean, I didn't buy these, they were a gift, but it's making me realise how beneficial it is to get new art supplies as an artist because it really does fire you up and get you inspired and kind of pushes you to work in a different way and to experiment more, because you can just get stuck in your ways and just create art the same way that you have been doing for years. And I'm really keen just to keep pushing those boundaries and keep experimenting and exploring my art. And I think trying out new supplies is a really good way of doing that. So, okay, that was Yellow Ochre number 44. Next we have Olive Green, a colour that I'm extremely excited to swatch because olive green is one of my favourite colours. Let's go for it. Oh yes, lovely. A bit less, I feel like it's a bit less brown than I was expecting. It feels a bit sap greeny. No, that is an olive, isn't it? It'll be interesting to see how it dries. Okay, next we have Sap Green Deep. Something I would say about this palette is some of the colours do seem a little bit unnecessary because you could make them by mixing them, but it is useful to be able to have colours available so you don't need to worry about mixing. Like for example, I think there's too many reds, and I think these colours are very similar. I think this is just a paler, Rose Madder is just a paler version of Rose Madder Deep, so I don't really see the point in having that colour twice, but I guess it's useful not to have to mix and to have the option if you want to, but I don't know that that's necessary, but it's just nice to have still though, isn't it? It's still nice to have the option there. But that is just something that I've been thinking about as I've been swatching and kind of comparing the colours and things. Okay, next we have this gorgeous colour here, number 50, which is malachite. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous colour. Really beautiful. Wow. Very happy with that. And then we have number 62, which is turquoise blue, which I think will be lovely for, hopefully, lovely for seascapes. Yep, that's gorgeous. These two colours together are going to be amazing mixed, making lovely sea blues, sea green colours. Going to be so nice for seascapes, definitely. I've kind of planned a painting series that's going to be inspired by my holiday to Cornwall this year. Just zoomed you in a little bit. But yeah, I just need to crack on and do the artwork that I've planned for this series because time is ticking. I have so many ideas at the moment of projects and series that I'd like to do with my art, but just struggling to focus at the moment. I think it's just this time of year. There's so many things going on that I'm struggling to kind of focus on one thing at a time, which I think is quite good to do. I think I have a tendency to try and balance loads of things all at once, but I think it's important to just take a deep breath and focus on one thing at a time. So I need to sit down and have a little bit of a plan of my time and everything. Oh yeah, and this was number 139, Cobalt Violet. So next we have number 20, black. So don't know if you can hear that aeroplane going past. It's quite loud. It's good black, very, very, very dark, so that's good. Sometimes watercolour blacks can be quite translucent, but that's a nice rich one, so that's good. And then last but not least, we have gold, number 90. Lovely, so nice. These metallics, I'm really impressed with actually. Okay, so that is the watercolours swatched, so I'll show you guys a close-up now before I move on to the next thing. So now I thought I'd show you guys the swatches that I did a while ago of the Holbein acrylic gouache. As you can see, they're incredibly opaque, matte and vibrant. I have been so impressed with these paints. As I said earlier, I couldn't resist waiting to swatch them in this video. That was the one place that I caved because I'd heard so many good things about these paints, so I just had to swatch them. I haven't used them yet because I wanted to talk about them in this video first before using them in my work. My overall impressions of these paints is that they are absolutely fantastic. The quality of them is incredibly good. The texture, the finish, the colour, the vibrancy, everything about these I adore. From the swatches, obviously I've not used them in my work just yet, but from the swatches I am very, very impressed. So I just wanted to share that little insight with you guys about how I'm feeling about the acrylic gouache first impressions. So yeah, I hope it's nice for you guys to see the swatches close up as well, just to kind of give you an idea of what they're like. So yes, very, very excited to use these in my future work. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed it and found it interesting seeing the supplies that I have been collecting and that have been bought for me. I'm really excited to start using these supplies more in my work. Let me know in the comments below if you made it to the end by telling me which of these supplies was your favourite and which you'd like to try out yourselves. And also let me know if you enjoyed this video so I know whether you guys want me to make similar videos in the future. It's always really helpful hearing your feedback. I also wanted to quickly thank my lovely patrons for supporting me over there and helping me to continue doing what I love. As always, there's a link to my Etsy shop and Patreon below, so if you're interested in supporting me, you can do so by checking those things out. Thank you again for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!